Welcome to the channel. You are watching another episode of BangBets Daily, brought to you by Lit757. Today is Wednesday, December the 6th, and in this video we'll be going over our NBA picks for today. Let's get into it. Sweaty! First regular NBA lineup, just coming off of 2 in-season tournament days. I mean, what do you guys think about that tournament? It's not over yet, but I think it's pretty entertaining. I think it adds another element to the game, at least for the fans especially. But in our first matchup for tonight, we got the Atlanta Hawks hosting the Brooklyn Nets. Total sitting at 240.5. Spread sitting at 3.5. Hold on, I wasn't even prepared to record. Let me get right. All right. First thing that threw me off guard on this one is the spread. Why is Atlanta favored by 3.5 points? Also, update on the total is up 3 points to 242.5. So really 243 is what you would need to win that. But yeah, man, Atlanta's 9-10, 10th in the East, lost their last game against the Bucks. All right. Brooklyn coming in 10-9, won their last game at home against the Magic. Now they're on the road in Atlanta. This Hawks team, man, it's looking like it's time to move some pieces around. I think Trae Young, Murray, all those guys there, this is probably their last season playing together over there. Because it's just not looking good for Atlanta, man. But I will say, they can score the ball. They play at a high pace. But like most of these high-paced teams, they just don't play any defense. They got the 26 overall defense partnered with the 4th offensive rating. So they could be a good team, honestly. And checking out, let's go to the injuries real quick. Nothing new on the injury report. Ben Simmons, I don't even know why NBA franchises continue to pay this guy. He just been stealing money for 3 seasons straight. But back to the topic at hand. Give me the Nets, man, on the money line. I'm taking the plus money on the better team here. They got all their pieces. I like what I've been seeing from Claxton and Bridges and Royce O'Neal, Cam Johnson. These guys are hooping, man. These guys are hooping. So I'm going to back the Nets here on the road against a Hawks team who I feel is really not sure what they want to do yet. Do they want to be a good team? Do they want to be a bad team? Do they want to be a mediocre team? Do they want to make the postseason? I just can't really get a read on this Hawks team. And maybe we'll learn something new tonight about them. Next matchup we're going to talk about is Detroit hosting the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis coming in 5-14, 14th in the West, excuse me. Lost their last game against the Suns. Detroit coming in 2-18 on a 17-game skid. Lost their last game 110-101. I mean, you really got to ask yourself, a 17-game losing streak. At what point do you just say, fuck it? It is what it is. And just stop even caring. Let's check the injury report. We know the Grizzlies missing half their team. Nobody really new to update you guys on outside of the regulars. Pistons have all their main pieces for this game. I mean, that's not saying a whole lot, but they got them. Let's check the numbers. Hey, man, believe it or not, Pistons lead the Grizzlies in most categories, except for offensive rating and defensive rating. Those are pretty important as well, but on paper, man, this Pistons team is actually a pretty good matchup for Memphis, and that's probably why the spread's sitting at 1.5. But I'm just going to take the team that has been winning more. Because, sometimes when you're used to winning, you just handle scenarios and situations a little bit better than maybe a desperate team or a team that's just been getting beat to smithereens night in, night out, back to back, off of rest. It don't matter. They lose. And on top of all of that, the Pistons are just the more fadeable team, in my opinion. 2-18. If you just bet against them every game they played, you'd be up big. Another thing I want to look at, let's look at the Pistons against the spread. 8-11 on the season. That's in our favor as well. They're playing Memphis. Memphis is also 8-11 against the spread. So a couple different angles there. But either way, I like Memphis. Honestly, I probably won't even play that 1.5. Just give me the money line so I don't have to think about it, worry about it, whatever. Just give me the money line. I think the Grizzlies will win this game tonight. Next up, we got the Houston Rockets hosting the Oklahoma City Thunder. Rockets coming in 8-9, 10th in the West on a 3-game skid. Lost their last game to the Lakers. Thunder coming in 13-6, second in the Western Conference on a 2-game win streak. Won the last game 126-120 against Dallas. Spread sitting at 1.5. It's actually up to 2.5 now. And the total as well is up to 227.5. It's amazing, man. I make these graphics sometimes the night before, sometimes just before I start recording. But no matter what I do, when I start talking about them, they always change that quick. So I can only imagine when you get to my video at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it probably looks crazy. But back on topic, man. OKC, Rockets, Shea, Giddey, Sengun. I mean, the Rockets, man, I don't think the Rockets are a bad team. I really don't. They're a young squad. They got a good coach in Ime. You know, they got the 4th defensive rating, 20th offensive rating. I mean, they're not having a horrible start, I guess, compared to last season and maybe what's anticipated coming into the season. Not like they got a super high ceiling. Thunder, however, things are looking up for the Thunder. I've been backing them all season, and I think I'm gonna go right back to them here. I can't really get on with the Rockets. I know it's only 1.5, and again, like I said about the Memphis game, just give me the money line. Just give me the money line at this point. If it jumps up to 2.5, 3.5, yeah, I might play that. But if it's 1.5, 2.5, just give me the money line. I don't even care about these little tiny spreads. I think the Thunder will win by 10 points. So that's my take on this one. And then our last game, it's a late one. We're headed out west. We got the Clippers hosting the defending champs, the Denver Nuggets. Spread sitting at 1.5. Totals up to 225.5 from 224. Let's see. Clippers coming in 9-10, 9th in the West. What they do in their last game? They won against my Warriors, of course, because we suck. 113-112, and if I'm not mistaken, we were up big in that game. I remember falling asleep on that. Denver coming in, lost their last game against Sacramento, 117-123, but they are 14-7, 3rd in the West. You know, it's an interesting matchup, man. A lot of big names on the floor here tonight. And honestly, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit here. I think this one's a little too close to call, but what did catch my attention, man? The Clippers and the Nuggets are in the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, on the bottom 6 teams as far as against the spread. So Denver's 9-12, and the Clippers are dead last at 6-12 against the spread. So we got the worst team against the spread versus the 5th worst team against the spread. Prime time. Well, I don't even know if that's considered. It is prime time. It's 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock's late game. West Coast. I kind of like the under here. I think I'm gonna go with it. I think I'm gonna roll the dice on that under just based off the fact that we got the dead last team against the spread and the 5th to dead last team against the spread here linking up. 224 is a decent number. You know, if this was like 215, 219, you might run me off of it. You do have a lot of scoring power on the floor on both teams, but in conjunction with the scorers, you have 5th and 12th in defensive rating out there. So I like the under right here. I'm gonna roll with it. Let's see what happens. And looking at the rest of the NBA slate real quick, I'm going to run through my thoughts for you guys. Philly and Washington. Philly laying 10.5. Total at 240. Maybe you can tell from my video. I'll go ahead and put this out here now before I get into these games. Tonight, man, I really tried to stay away from big spreads. 2, grab money lines. 3, if we are going to take a spread, it needs to be minimal. So that was my motto for this whole week of betting. I think that's what I'm gonna try to stick with, because I've been getting burned on some big spreads lately, and when I could have just had the money line or could have just bought it down or whatever the case may be. But anyway, Wizards Sixers. Obviously, I'm gonna give my lean to the Sixers. Can the Wizards keep it close? Probably not. Magic in Cleveland. You know I love betting on them Orlando Magic, but they're on the road in Cleveland. It's a very good matchup. Just a game that's too close to call. I think there's easier matchups to predict on the schedule, so that's why I didn't feature that one. But I would lean towards the under in that one for sure. Miami and Toronto. I'm gonna give my lean towards the Heat, even though they're a little banged up. I believe Bam and Tyler Herro will be out tonight. Just waiting to see if that injury report updates at all. If that is the case, then I can totally understand taking the Raptors in that one, because they are, if I'm not mistaken, let me look real quick. Yeah, I think no, they won They won the game before last, and they lost to the Knicks. But I'm sure that Raptors team is hungry for a win. Let's see what else. San Antonio and Minnesota. 12.5. I mean, they just be disrespecting the Spurs week in and week out, but they really aren't that good. Can they keep it close? Believe it or not, the Spurs have been getting these big spreads all season. What did I see it at earlier? I thought I saw some. Oh, never mind. I thought the Spurs were decent against those big spreads. Looks like they're not. 7-12 against the spread for San Antonio. Then we got a nasty one in the Eastern Conference, Bulls and the Hornets. I believe there's going to be no Levine for this matchup. Total sitting at 220, spreads at 4.5. I kind of like the Hornets here for whatever reason. I'm not getting behind this Bulls team. I don't trust DeRozan. Rozier gave me 30-something the last time he was out there. I think I'll give the Hornets a shot to win that game with the plus money. Then we got the Jazz playing Dallas. I believe Kyrie is a game time decision in that one. Kyrie, Tim Hardaway, Luka, Laurie, and Jordan Clarkson are both out for that matchup. Spread sitting at 8.5. Total sitting at 227.5. Jazz don't have their two best players playing one of the better teams out west. I got to lean on the Mavs there, but like I said earlier, just trying to stay away from those big spreads. And to recap our picks for Wednesday night, December the 6th, we got the Brooklyn Nets on the money line. I forgot who they were playing that fast, but if I'm not mistaken, they got the Atlanta Hawks. So give me the Brooklyn Nets on the money line in our first pick. Second pick is going to be the Memphis Grizzlies laying 1.5 on the road against the Detroit Pistons. Third pick is OKC minus 1.5, which you might not be able to get anymore. So let's just call it 2.5 against the Houston Rockets on the road as well. And then our last pick is late night game, 10 o'clock tip off. Clippers hosting the Nuggets, and we got the under 224.5 in that matchup. It's actually up to 225 now. So maybe for that total, you just keep an eye on it. It's going to go up and down throughout the day. But I do like the under in that matchup wherever it lands. If you made it this far, thank you for watching the video. Hit that thumbs up button for me. Hit the subscribe button for me. It really helps the algorithm when you guys hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment. Tell me what your picks are for tonight. Tell me if you agree with my picks, if you disagree with them, if you got a godly parlay. I want to know about it. Let me know in the comments, man. We got big things coming over here. Pause. Get at me on X at BangBets. Get at me on TikTok at BangBets, at Lit757. You know the drill. Let's get the money. We out.